The ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
Look at that. Look at that, guys. Cat ball is constantly going off. EMF.
Do it again.
Spiking. Look.
You go ahead and get that line.
Nobody's touching the bed. Nobody's near the bed.
All right, Penny. Let's see if you can do it again. Come on. Attaboy.
Look, it's almost on cue. Like, as soon as he says it. That is crazy.
How many more times can you do it? You ready? Do it again. Oh, I'm getting bored of that one, huh? Well, what do you want to do, pal?
Oh, the K2's going. Oh,
There we go.
It was like he hit the K2 first, and then he was like, oh, I might tap the ball
There you
again.
go. You see? Attaboy. You got to build up, don't you? It's okay.
That is crazy.
We got you set up in here.
We appreciate you, Penny.
No, absolutely. Not sure what his given name was or their given name was, but we just call him Penny based on the theme, obviously.
Yeah. He's loving this room.
Can you set off that cat ball again? Penny?
All right, Penny, can you light it up again? Go ahead, do it again. Come on. You gotta
Look, there goes the K2.
You were
Look.
going pretty good there.
K2 starts
I know
moving.
you can do it. Come on. Tap it.
There you go. He's like, okay, one last time.
Hey, we don't want to push it too hard, but we do appreciate it. We know you were active yesterday.
That's awesome.
Took all your energy last night, huh?
Yeah, probably did.
What do you think about it, babe?
Curious if we can get a name. Oh,
Yeah, it's still going on. Well, it stops and now
Probably
it's turning back
tapping in
around.
between.
Yeah. He's like, hey, I'm over here. Pay me attention. Forget about him. Look.
Yeah.
so Penny, can you give us your real name?
Penny, would that be okay? Can you talk to him? Tell him who you really are?
Real like you.
Yeah. I don't think we've seen that cat ball go off as much as it's doing right now.
No, it's just like on point.
You gonna turn that on, see if you can get a name?
Yeah, let's see if we can get a name.
So this is just like, I don't know, they can manipulate like a word bank. So.
All right.
Are you ready? Oh, I take it you're ready.
Boy.
That's what it sounded like.
Can you say that again?
Hi.
All right. What is your name?
I heard Grant. Like the first one I heard was Grant.
Grant.
That's what I heard. Look, did you hear it? Did you say your name is Grant? Hey.
Why are you in this room? What draws you here?
Just say my name.
Kind of sound like this.
Sounded like.
Did you die in this room or on this property?
Penny. Penny. I'm okay. How are you?
Go ahead.
Oh,
Ask
look.
me anything you want.
It's still going off.
What do you think, Penny? Is this okay?
Alright. I think he's all okay with it.
Okay, now can you repeat your true name, please?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your name?
Don't be shy now.
Penny, you there? Can you tell us your name?
Isn't Penny the one that's like, do you want to play a game?
Do you want to play again?
That's him, right?
Pennywise.
Okay. I was thinking that was right.
Penny, can you set this all the way to red? It's close to you. So the closer you get to it.
Hey, Penny. Can you show me a red light? Come on, you can do it. Just come on over here, right here, and let's light this up. Let's see if we can do that one, huh?
Hey, we got the cat ball.
Are you loving that cat ball?
I mean, technically, it does have a red light on it.
That's true.
Penny, how old were you when you passed away? Can you tell me?
I think he's trying to talk through the ball.
You never seen anything like that. You liking the cat ball. Let's see what else you like. That's a true, field testing.
I don't think
Right
there's
here on
anything
this
else
on
on
this
there.
black device, Penny. Let's see if you can light that up. We've got 2 green lights and a flickering yellow. The next color will be orange, and after that will be red. You want to give it a shot?
Hair. Is this not my hair?
Maybe he likes your hair.
Do you think my hair's pretty?
It was a faint yes.
Alright, if you're ready for us to go, can you light the cat ball up? Oh my god, I heard a kid talking and that creeped me out.
Are you running low on energy?
I was like, where's that kid voice coming from?
Penny, if you'd like to be done, please light up the ball.
Light up the ball or make that stay yellow for a little bit longer? Okay then, okay. I take that as he's done with us for today.
Okay,
All right.
Penny, we'd like to thank you. I
Yes.
appreciate it, man.
Yes, Penny. Thank you
You
very
never
much.
failed me.
That was awesome. Thank you so much.
Now, in this room, there has been activity. I personally, this was actually yesterday, I came in, I stripped the room, start cleaning, taking out the trash. I'm at the point where I got to make the beds. So I make this bed right here. And so then I take my sheets and everything, and I come over to this bed. And as I'm making this bed, I realize, sometimes you need a pillowcase, this and that, you miss something. And then so I usually set things right here, so I have to come over here. As I turn, I see a handprint right there on the bed. Now I just made the bed, it was nice and smooth, but it's possible maybe I did something like that and wasn't really paying attention and left a handprint. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. So I go, oh, okay, well let me fix that. Get it all set. Make it look good for the next guest that comes in. So then I turn, and I get what I need, and I turn and I come back, and I'm looking at this, getting this one ready. Then I need to do something else real quick, and I come back, and now this sheet is like pulled, like that. And I'm going, okay, the odds are against that because you saw that tug. You got to pull a little bit hard. So to get it to do that is fairly difficult. So I go, okay, well, first time could have been me. This time, I'm pretty sure I didn't, but I'm not overly worried about it. So I come in and I smooth it down, and this time I'm extra careful. Make sure everything's just right. Then I double check it. I go, okay, I'm okay. Come over here, finish up this bed. Boom, boom, boom. Fluff my pillows, things like that. Turn around and look. I got another handprint right there. Now, third time's a charm. I said, nope. And I literally said, nope. Like, nope. Okay, it wasn't me. And at this point, I kind of laugh and chuckle because I've seen stuff like this before. So I'm not too worried about it. So I clean it up. I go, okay, they're active, which they're not always active. Sometimes they get dormant, but then they come out. And yesterday they were a bit active, which was really fun, really interesting. So it was, and then we've had more experiences, and evidently a couple of people couldn't stay in the rooms.
Wow. Wow, they left out?
Oh yeah, there were some people doing some EMF work last night, and from what I understand, one of the girls that was just along for the ride with them couldn't handle 108. And that's right next door.
Oh, we got to check
And
that out.
and she got scared and went and stayed in another room with another girl.
Oh, wow.
So I'm out of here. I can't stay in there. So they had some readings in there last night. So the activity was pretty decent.
All right. Cool. So you
Pretty
want
heavy in here, and it seems to, what my wife and I believe is that whatever it is moves from this room to that room, and I think maybe over to this room. But you know, we do believe that there are several here.
Yeah.
But this one in particular evidently likes me.
right.
So I'm the guy that gets picked on.
Oh, good.
So I am here. You know, you've been pretty good to me lately, but make sure that I get a little bit. Isn't that right, Penny? If I come in the room, I talk to him, I say flat out, I said, look, man, you're reserved for tonight. We're going to get you dressed up, cleaned up, look good, and do what you got to do.
Right on.
You know, do what you got to do. I said, your job is to scare him. And he will. He will. The second day, my wife and I have been here. We are the contractors for the housekeeping. She's the boss. I'm just the manager. I'm the mouth. But the second day we were here, my wife was cleaning this room, and I was down the hall right here on the bottom, almost to the end, cleaning like room 115, 114, right in there. So I was way down the hall, and I hear, baby! I stick my head out the door. I go, yeah. She goes, were you just in my room? I go, I'm way down here. How can I be in there? She goes, come here. So I leave my room, come down here. She's standing right here. And she goes, look! She had just done a good wet mop right through here. And as she finished coming to the door, she realized she forgot a little bar of soap. And she's like, oh. So she had to turn, and the cart was right here. She had to turn, go get the soap, and come back. When she came back, and she showed me, I was right there. Footprints about this big. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow. On the wet floor. Now that's it. Now I didn't tell my wife this because she didn't know. She goes, nobody could have walked in. And so a little bit later I pointed out, and I said, baby, I said, do you realize there were 4 footprints going in on your wet floor, but none coming out? And she goes, whoa. And you know, and that kind of freaked her out. Other things that happened in here, me. Here we go. We'll go in order as best as I can remember. Here I am, making this bed. Now you're laughing about it, aren't you, Penny? Thanks a lot, buddy. Yeah, you know, you did this on purpose so I can tell the stories, didn't you? That's fair. That's fair. So here I am making the bed, and I'm putting the top sheet on, and all of a sudden it goes,
Wow.
gets pulled right out of my hands. Now I was thinking, well, maybe it slipped, right? You know, I don't think anything of it. So I bring it back, and then, you know, my wife was going to come in and help me with the room, but she was taking care of something else. And so I'm making it again, doing this, doing that, and then all of a sudden, I feel this on my arm. My arm gets pulled this way. Now I immediately think it's my wife, and she's just messing with me, right? So I'm like, I go, what was that? And I look around here and I look around here. As I turn around, she comes walking right through the door. Wow. And I was like, whoa. Another time, making this bed. Yeah, don't do it again. Right here, making this bed. Right here, back to the mural. And I turn. And I was like, that's when I first got scared. Yeah. And I said, nope. And I ran. I didn't run, but I walked at a quicker pace than I normally do. Yeah. And I go find my wife, and evidently I was white as a ghost. My eyes were huge. She goes, what happened? And I told her. But Penny, he does like to mess with me. Oh. Another time I'm in here by myself, and always when I'm by myself. Oh. And my wife just laughs. She thinks it's hilarious. But one time I'm right here, so whenever I walk into a room, the first thing, or at least one of the first two things that I do, is I open the curtains. That way I get plenty of light in the room, and we open them up that way. The manager knows these rooms are done, they're ready to rent, and when he walks by, he can double check. So, open the curtains. So, I open the curtains, I strip the beds, I'm picking up the dirty towels and stuff like that. You know, I throw them over here, and I start coming over here, and I start making the bed. And I'm like, something's weird, it's getting darker in this room. What's going on? And I looked up just as those curtains finished closing.
Wow. That's scary, man.
And so another one of those moments where I'm out of here.
Oh yeah.
And I told my wife, I said, I am not going in that room. Not by myself. Yeah. But she got one. She got one right above it. And she did not want to go in. And I laughed because she had it coming. She laughed at me too much. But yeah, those are my experiences in this room. And every now and again you'll hear noises, this and that. But I mean, like I said, we've been here for 8 months and this much has gone on. Wow. I mean, it's been pretty interesting. I mean, right next to a cemetery that everybody in there, I mean, a lot of them from the Civil War. Right. They've been gone for over 100 years. Yeah. So it's pretty amazing. And so sometimes I wonder if they don't use the Clown Motel as a venue to speak out, you know, from wherever they're at. Yeah. It's pretty amazing. Because, I mean, the Clown Motel was established here in 1980. Now, a few people have died here. In fact, from what I understand, one person actually shot himself in the head in the parking lot.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Wow. Then a few other gentlemen, I think all men, if I'm not mistaken, they would come in and they would stay for a while and end up dying in the rooms. And so that has happened. And I don't know if it's 4 or 5 of them. I don't know who they are. I don't know when. I don't know what caused it. The only thing I know that caused the gentleman in the parking lot is self-inflicted. Yeah. It's pretty amazing. I'll tell you another story. I believe he followed me home one day.
Oh. Don't want that.
And I had my own personal EMF reader, and because I walked, my wife, I'd left here, I had to go to the bank real quick. And then I went home. My wife was going to be right behind me. She was finishing up a few things, and I go home and I got my big dog Blue, and so I'm standing there at the table, and all of a sudden I hear a noise, and I look over at our laundry room. And the way our laundry room is as you walk in, and we call it the washroom. Walk in, we have curtains right there. Mm-hmm. And I always spread the curtains because I'm a big guy and I don't want curtains in my face. Right. And then we have a wall in the hallway right there. And then when I go right to the dining area, and I was emptying my pockets, taking out my wallet, things like that. So I hear like noise, and I look over, and here's the hallway, and then you have to take a left to go in the laundry room, so the curtains are on this wall. And then I have this wall, and it was a nice sunny day. And I'm like, okay. So I see a small shadow, a figure on the wall. First thing I think, ha ha ha. There's my wife, and I see it moves forward, so the shadow gets bigger, then it moves back. Then it moves forward, side to side a little bit, and then it moves back. My dog comes up, sits right next to me, and just stares. And I'm like, "Ha baby, is that you? What are you doing?" And then as soon as I ask that question, I hear 4 times.
Wow.
And I'm like going, my dog's like,
He's like, is this the point where
yeah,
we're
he's
done?
like, and I look at him, I go, you know that's mom. I say, you know that's mom. I say, go get her. So he runs in there and he goes through the curtain right there, and I don't hear anything. And all of a sudden he pokes his head out and he looks at me like, there's nobody here. So I walk up and I look, there's nobody there. So I'm standing there, the dog's standing there, he's looking at me, I'm looking at him, I'm like, that ain't right. And then a few minutes later, my wife walks through the door. I go, baby, were you standing in here and you made that noise? And she's looking at me like I'm crazy. And she's like, no. I'm like, are you sure? She goes, you calling me a liar? I go, no. I said, did you come in and have to go back out to the car for a few minutes and get something or something? I don't understand. And then, I explained everything to her. She goes, baby, that wasn't me. And I'm like, oh. So now the house feels heavy. And so I bust out my EMF reader. I start getting small readings, nothing major. You got to take appliances into account. And so now I'm like, okay, well, I'm done. I put it away. And I'm over at my pantry. So as you walk in, the kitchen's right there just before you get to the dining area. So the kitchen's right here, and I got the pantry right there. I'm opening it up, and I'm trying to find out, what should I make for dinner, right? So I'm kind of pilfering through the cabinet there, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm talking to my wife. She's right next to me, this and that. But I noticed that the air was really heavy right there. And I felt enraged just for no reason, I was in perfectly fine mood. And I'm like, what's going on? My wife's over here, she's standing right next to me. And I got hit right in the shoulder. And I jumped, and I'm surprised I didn't hit my head on the cabinet, because I jumped and everything went through me and went up here, went all the way down my body. And next thing you know, now I'm completely enraged, and I feel like super strong. It was insane how I felt. And next thing you know, I'm shaking and I'm pacing in the front room, and I say, baby, get me out of this house. Get me out of this house. Get me out of this house. So there was no dinner. She took me down to the Mizpah. So we get in the car, and I can't drive. I'm literally going, I do believe in ghosts. I do believe in ghosts. I was in the car, and she's looking at me, are you okay? And I was just way out of sorts. I was just not me. Something was wrong. And as we passed, she took me down to the Mizpah. She goes, all right, I'm going to buy you a drink. Yeah, buy me a drink. Yeah, buy me a drink. And I was kind of like that. I really can't reenact it, but it was very close. And so as we pass here, like a weight was lifted off of me. And we go down there, but I'm still, like 3 days I was shaking. Yeah. I was just like, and I did not want to go home. She made me go home that night. I did not want to sleep there, and I would not touch the pantry or go anywhere near it for a few days. I was that nervous, and I'm a big guy, but that one, it hurt, to be, I call that an attack. Mm-hmm. And the feeling that I felt empowered, I felt rage, it was really hard to explain unless you dealt with it. Because I've been, first I thought, well, was there some kind of electrical surge? I'm like, oh, no, near anything like that. So it shouldn't have happened. And it didn't feel like electricity, because I've been there before.
You've been zapped a few times?
A few times, yeah. You do your handyman work around the house, you sometimes you go, oops! So, but yeah, it was crazy. My wife knew what it was, but she was trying to play it off as something else, because she knew I was frightened. But like I said, as we drove past the Clown Motel, it was like something was lifted off of me, and I started to be able to calm down. But even when I sat down to have my drink, I couldn't even pick it up. My wife had to give it to me, and I just needed to calm down. And everybody, we know everybody in town, and everybody's like, "Is he okay?" It was pretty rough. Here, one in the mural, he was here.
Oh wow.
Cool.
with the producer. They stayed in the room, donated all these stills from the movie.
You know what this movie is called? I've never seen this one.
Clown Motel.
Oh, the actual Clown Motel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, from what I understand, they did one, and you can find that like on probably Tubi or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
And then they did another one, I think went straight to DVD, and they're getting ready to finish up a third one, from what I understand.
Awesome.
And they do sell them in the gift shop.
All right.
And this picture was actually in the film,
Okay. All right.
and so they took it out. And my wife, from the film, because we just only recently watched it, and they would run up to 204, which is right over here upstairs on the end. So the actors were running there, and that's where they were hiding, you know, from the sinister clowns. And my wife and I, we were looking, and we go, oh my gosh, look at the bedspreads. Well, we were gifted a big king-size bedspread. Evidently, that was used in that movie. So, and we're like, that's ours. So it was in the film. Yeah,
Nice.
we're like, hey, that is cool.
That is awesome.
But in this room, I think there was only one experience, and it was my wife's. And there were two people up here doing a lot of EMF work and filming, a man and his wife. And so they were doing a bunch of stuff, and they stayed in this room. And now I'm down in the office taking care of some business, and the two folks had actually left and checked out. And because we were kind of waiting for them to go, I think it was our last room to do for the day. And they were getting ready to go, so they turned in the key, so I'm writing down, okay, that one's out. And my wife had come upstairs to see if they were out already. And she comes down, walking down the stairs. She goes, baby? I go, yeah. She goes, how many people were in that group? I said, just two. They just checked out. They're in the gift shop right now. And she goes, are you sure? And I go, yeah, they turned in the key. I just wrote it down that they're out. She goes, I just went up and I looked through the window. So she stood right at the window and she looked in, and she saw a dark figure sitting, to the best of my ability, like this. But it was all dark.
Yeah.
Just sitting here looking right at her.
Wow.
And then she came down, and I go, no, it's only two people. She goes, who was in the room? I go, nobody should be in the room. You know, we come back up and we look, and nobody in the room. She goes, I don't want to go in there. I don't want to go in there. So kind of like I did for the first time, and I start laughing. I just walk right in. You know, I'm like, I've been through enough. That ain't nothing for me.